This video was made about 2 weeks ago when I decided it was time to do the first sowing for the year. And it's a bit early for me, but it's because I'm sowing things I haven't sown before really. Well, some of it. You've seen chili and pepper and celery and onion, and here comes leek as well. So these are the vegetables that need to be sown early. And then it's pences in 2 different varieties, and petunias in 3 different varieties, white, red, and also mixed color, which I thought looked very nice. And finally, flower that's called blue false indigo, apparently. These are seeds that I was given some time ago, so I'm going to try that as well. I'm using 2 different kinds of soil when I do this sowing, and it's mostly potting soil. This is an ecological variant, and I also use sowing soil. I couldn't find any such ecological, so it will have to be what I could get hold of. As you can see, I have some trays on the table already, but I'm going to use baking sheets. These are old baking sheets. I've got 3 of them that I use while doing the sowing, and I will also use them for storing the pots after I've done all the sowing. Here you can see that I start with filling up the pot with the potting soil, shaking it down a bit and having a look at what it looks like. And then I put the sowing soil on top of that before I put the seeds in. These seeds are quite big. I think there were about 12 or something in the package. I decided to use 5 of them and give the rest away to somebody who would like to try for themselves. So on the package it said that they should be covered, so I'm putting some more sowing soil on top of the seeds. And now we're moving on to pepper, and this is a mini pepper called Roter Augsburger, and it's an organic with 5 seeds in the package, so I decided to use all 5 of them. There's a guaranteed germination of 65%, so some of it should work anyway. I've only sowed pepper once before, I think. Otherwise I would buy the plants that already had come up, and I've had them both outdoors and indoors. It hasn't been a total success really, but I think I found these seeds on sale, so I thought I'd have another go. Next is celery, and this is an ecological or organic seed again. It's called Mambo and it's an F1 hybrid. There's about 40 seeds in this package, and I decided to use 20, half of them. And the guaranteed germination is 70%. I've never tried growing celery before, but I thought I'd give it a go. I quite like celery, and it was something that I was taught to eat by my English mother-in-law, who quite often had it in salads for lunch. Now we move on to leek, and this one is called atal. I haven't tried growing leek either before, and it's not a vegetable that we eat a lot. My husband doesn't really like it at all, but if I don't tell him that it's in the meal, he'll usually eat it anyway. I used about 20 of the 100 seeds in this one, and the guaranteed germination is 65% of this type. The last of the seeds when it comes to vegetables this time is the giant yellow onion. This one is called Ailsa Craig, I think it's supposed to be pronounced. And we eat a lot of onion, both yellow and red. And I tried to grow onion from seeds before. I think it works pretty well, but the actual bulbs don't get that big the first year, so I've had to save them and grow them again, put them again in the raised bed the following season. But for some reason I had a package at home, so I thought I'd better use it, and this one has 125 seeds in the package. I used 30. I later dropped one of the pots, so now it's 25 on the go. I have also ordered both yellow and red onion bulbs, and will grow them parallel to these seeds in raised beds in the garden to make sure that we have some onion this season. I'm doing this work in our dining room, where we have an extra table which I can use. It's also quite a light room, but most important of all, maybe it's one of the few rooms that we do keep warm, at least during the day. So I'm hoping that will work out fine. Early times that I've tried to grow seeds early in the year, I've actually had some heater on under the table, but that gets a bit too expensive, so let's try this and hope it works for the best. Moving on to the flowers. And first it's the pansies. I'm sowing two different kinds. The first one is mini pansy, and it's an F1 hybrid called Sorbet Citrus. I thought it looked quite nice. We got a lot of blue pots out, and it works very nicely with that, I think, with yellow and orange and a bit of white. 25 seeds in this one, and I'm using all of them. I've never grown pansies from seeds before, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. The second one is also an F1 hybrid. I think these are not mini but ordinary size. Yeah, it says on the back here big flowers, about 8 centimeters in diameter. This one is called Spring Matrix Lavender Shades. Maybe the color doesn't work extremely well with blue pots, but I've also got ceramic pots, and I'm always looking for flowers with a bit of blue shade because we have very little of that in our garden. And then it's the petunias. I love petunias. Like pansies, they do keep for a long time over the summer. This white one is called Eagle White. It's an F1 hybrid with 50 seeds, and I found these petunia seeds very tricky to work with. They are so small, but I did use all of them. Looking now in the packages, they are empty. So the red one is called Eagle Red, also F1 hybrid. The guaranteed germination for these two is 80%. And finally, I also have a petunia here called Sophistica Lime Bicolor. And I really liked the look of these. Funnily enough, they came in a total different container. I've never seen that before. It said there was going to be 10 pellets in it. I'm not sure it was actually. I think it was just 9. It doesn't matter. I used them all. These seeds were, funnily enough, a bit bigger and therefore also easier to handle. Finally, the last seed to sow this time is Baptisia australis. It's called blue false indigo or blue wild indigo, as far as I can understand. I've actually never seen this flower live, as far as I know. I've never heard of it before I received these seeds, but I thought I'd give them a try. These seeds need to be kept cold, so I'm bringing the pots outdoors into the garden, and I leave these pots in one of the raised beds. As far as I can understand from doing some research on this flower, the seeds grow irregular and slow, so there might not be any plants or flowers this year. I might have to wait till next season. That's all the sowing done for this time. It's just to tidy up a bit and then wait and see what comes up.